dream, not of what you are, but of what you want to be.
Without a doubt, the defining story moment in Warframe's 10 years. Now, in December 2015, Digital Extremes released a quest that would change the direction of Warframe as we knew it. Up until that point, Warframe's lore was heavily fragmented in smaller quests and of course codex entries, but the second dream changed all of that. This video is sponsored by Digital Extremes, so a huge thank you to them for allowing me to make it, as part of their 10-year anniversary celebrations. Now, the second dream was a significant shift in direction for Warframe that started us off on a journey of discovery for Lotus, for Tenno, and now for Drifter as well. A journey that spanned quite a few updates, from the second dream to the War Within, the Sacrifice, the New War, Zariman, and now Duviri as well. A journey that we're still on to this day with Duviri, and a story that I don't think is quite finished yet, by no means. The man in the wall is still lurking and maybe trying to break into Duviri if the Lost Island codex entries are anything to go by. So where it goes from here is anyone's guess, but let's take a little bit of a look back at some of the best moments and characters of Warframe's 10 years. So over the course of those 10 years, Warframe's universe and lore has expanded and given us some really unique moments and world building, along with more detailed stories, while giving us some incredible characters to add into them. Story-driven characters, but at the same time, Digital Extremes were not afraid to take inspiration from within their own community. Characters like John Prodman, a Corpus unit that is basically too powerful to die. He's absolutely shredded. Then there is Clem, a Grineer defector that was created as a meme by a player called Data Reaper, who recently sadly passed away. Clem, while starting out as a meme, is one of the mainstays in Warframe and its community, and has been for years, so he is rightly immortalised forever in Iron Wake. Now, prior to the second dream, some of these characters and lore were relegated, like I said, to codex entries, but as a brief example, this is a corrupted ancient. It arrived in Warframe back in May 2013 with update 8, and its lore segment is honestly one of the best in the game. It revolves around two cloned twins bred for a purpose, healers, Lorist Ontella and their twin Rambala, but also their bodyguard Dax Menz. A city on Mars called New Uxmal is overrun by infested. Rambala, they originally think, has died, but 2 days later Ontella can sense Rambala again through a kind of symbiotic link, something that they had not told anyone that they were able to do. So a rescue party is launched to save Rambala. However, when they land back on the city, Ontella can sense Rambala making progress towards them, but Rambala did actually die, and they are now being run down by a horde of infested that now has a corrupted ancient. So Rambala has changed into this corrupted ancient. And in trying to rescue Rambala, Ontella, Menz and the entire rescue party almost die at the hands of the infested. So while the second dream signified a shift in story direction and how they, I guess, presented their stories, there was already really great lore buried within Warframe. You just had to look for it. But then we were served stories like Rel, the Chains of Harrow, and his sacrifice as he held back the man in the wall for so long while being in agony, until we finally freed him and set future events in motion.
But the man in the wall, who will...
They will have to. All of them. They owe you this. We all do.
Yeah, I feel...
Orden Karis and the Beast of Bones, Sylvanas and the Silver Grove, the infested plague that was nurtured by the Orokin civilization as a weapon by letting it run rampant on outer colonies, kind of turning them into giant greenhouses and causing genocides at the same time. Albrecht Entrati and his journey in and out of the Void, a person who helped create the warp drives and a person who might be in every place all at once after his initial journey into the Void where he encountered Wally. Mother mentions him being ripped apart. He also showed up in Duviri, or a version of him did at least. So we're not done with Albrecht just yet either, I don't think. He gazed into the Void and his fear took shape. But the second dream did give us the alliance of Stalker and Hunhao.
I am Hunhao, sentient destroyer of worlds. By your hand, expose their heart. By my edge, cleave it beating from its nest.
And a feeling of a powerful evil entity, an enemy that really wanted us dead. He wanted revenge for the old war and, of course, the humiliation at the hands of Warframes. But we managed to save the Tenno Reservoir from Hunhow and the Stalker and push them back, which played on the emotions of so many Warframe players at the time when this scene took place in the middle of the quest, revealing exactly what we are as our Warframe picks us up and carries us to safety. Children, Tenno, who returned from a failed void jump to Tau on board the Zariman. But we returned with powers, children that had been hidden away then by Lotus, but back in the old war we were used as a way to control Warframes with transference. Warframes were originally tortured experiments, created as weapons by Ballas and of course by Margulis, volunteers, or more often not, between a human host and the infested disease. There is a lore segment for Rhino Prime which depicts a savage rhino running rampant through a ship, eating people before finally being put under control, and it paints Warframes in a completely different light. Savage, animalistic and infested in nature, but our Tenno could look inside these broken, ugly machines and take away their pain.
I know I will die, so I just watch with curious acceptance. The beast squats down, shoveling a heap of gore into its mouth. It is watching me with vague eyes, a sense of recognition, ancestral memory. It knows who I am and what I've done. It rears up like a bear and roars, shattering the lights and casting us into darkness. I can hear it lumbering toward me, its metal fingers rending the walls. But I know I am dead. I close my eyes and stand ready to pay.
Now, the War Within gave us Teshin and of course Grineer Queens whose bodies were decaying, and they wanted us, our Tenno, for continuity. The old Orokin celebration of taking over a younger person's body. Sounds horrific, where they would break the mind of a child and then transfer their consciousness into that newer, younger body, and in doing so erase the very existence of that child.
My sister needs the orphan child, not its infested puppet.
The child? For what purpose?
To eat it, of course.
Hush, worm. Do not question your lords, Teshin Dax. Bring me the orphan. Bring me my Yuvan.
But the Grineer Queens wanted to do that to our Tenno, and in doing so, they failed. We gained control of the Kuva Scepter, and Teshin became our mentor of sorts. Even now in Deviri, he is giving our Drifter nuggets of wisdom as he tries to guide us. And the sacrifice gave us, of course, Umbra Excalibur, a Dax soldier modified with the infested strain to turn them into a Warframe. But more importantly, it gave us Ballas, the one responsible for imprisoning Orden Karas in his glass prison. He was also the lover of Margulis, aka Lotus, or at least the original Margulis, not the sentient Lotus that has now minded us for years. So all of these quests from the second dream right the way through to the new war led us on this journey for Tenno and of course Lotus, and the arrival of the man in the wall, which turned out to be an actual wall with a huge face and a kid sitting on top of it. But the new war also gave us moments with Ballas where he became an emperor and ruled over absolutely everything with the Narmer faction. It gave us Viso, a Corpus unit that fought back and went down with his ship in a blaze of glory. It also gave us Cal and his brothers. But now we're in Deviri, a world created through the emotions of our Drifter as a way to deal with the trauma of the Zariman event in their existence. But now we have a doorway between both into the void, into Deviri through the Zariman and our world as well. And what lies within is still relatively new to us. We know that events in our timeline have had repercussions on Deviri. 10 islands in Deviri that have been cast away by Dominus Thrax as the void encroaches on it, and at times what looks like the man in the wall trying to break in. There is moments where blood seeps up through the ground, which kind of signifies Kuva, as we get the Kuva in our timeline. There is chain links which rain down from the skies and kills Garmy the Protector, which seems heavily connected in some way to the chains of Harrow and us freeing Rel from his pain. Albrecht and Trati arrives in Deviri to study the Void in an observatory similar to the one he had in his world before then disappearing, and then there are other correlating events on some of the other islands as well. Now the journey after 10 years of evolution, like I said, is only just beginning, and where it leads next is going to be very, very interesting. So here's to another 10 years, Tenno. Let me know in the comment section below what your favourite story or moment is within Warframe over the last decade. Have a great day, and as always, thanks for watching.